One can learn many things living in a country. Having lived in different cities, I'd love to share a few of those lessons that I've learned along the way and how it really applies to innovative leaders in business. Singapore started from very humble beginnings with a very, very big dream. And that dream was to be a self-sufficient and independent nation. So what's been quite amazing is how Singapore was able to achieve that success while building measurable blocks today to help them get there. How do you stay ruthlessly focused on achieving an inspiring vision, even when things get tough? Having interacted with close to 20 different government agencies, one of the things that has always struck me was really the level of integrity and lack of corruption that I've personally experienced. And as someone who's leading an organization, how do you cultivate that kind of a culture where from the top to the bottom, people are always wanting to do the right thing? When I first came to Singapore, I was a bit surprised when I saw a temple next to a mosque, next to a church, all living and coexisting very, very peacefully. And when I learned more about this intentional integration of the differences, I'm learning that it's actually not just about integration, but about actually celebrating the minority view and actually providing dignity to the underrepresented. And as I think about that, I wonder, as a leader in our organizations, do we go out of our way to intentionally bring out the uniqueness of every single person in our staff, their heritage, their points of view, and their strengths, and celebrate and invite them to the table? And how do we go about doing that? I believe a positive unintended impact of this inclusiveness has actually been a key ingredient to allow Singapore to continue to innovate and grow as she embraces and accepts people's uniquenesses. When we see a leader who's really given his life to serve his country, I think it's really inspiring. And some people say that absolute power corrupts absolutely. I believe we see an exception in the life of Lee Kuan Yew, who was very different and lived a humble life even till his death. My experience with some of the senior leaders in Singapore has really been this remarkable lack of a personal agenda. When we have conversations, it's really about what is best for the people and for the country and not for myself. And I find that very rare and admirable. So as people who are always managing the agendas of different people, to what extent is our personal agenda mixed in with those of serving our people, our organizations, and the society that we live in? One characteristic I really admire is her humility to learn and her openness to new ideas. In the midst of success and achievement, my question is, how do you remain humble to learn? As a result of really living these principles out in the day-to-day as well as in the long term, Singapore is now a key hub for Southeast Asia and really has earned a seat at the global arena as a first world country. Quite impressive for a very young country. How do you apply these principles into the way that you lead and innovate within your organizations?